worked for. And obviously, I assume a lot of you guys have been exposed to her story, how Becky Brissé, which is our top queen bee of Diesel Nation, started her business first, asked her sister to sign up just so she could advance to Emerald. And then Christina started her business and then introduced me to Beachbody Coaching. I'm going to give you guys a quick gist of my story because it's funny that you hear all those accolades and you hear all the things that I've hit in my business. But I'll tell you that I also have a crap ton of my family in the business. My mom, my dad, my sister, my best friends. I have cousins. I have some of my in-laws all working in the Beachbody business. So one of the things I had to do very early on was get really great at social media and attacking my cold market, because as you guys can imagine, the warm market depleted very quickly with so many people in my family in the business. So I'll tell you a little bit about my story, and then we'll go into social media, which is what I want to talk to you guys about tonight, and branding yourself, because it's really helped me along the way in the last 5 years as a coach. Like I mentioned, I was a paralegal before I started my coaching business, and I started doing home workouts because I saw Christina losing weight. I didn't think that I would ever, turn this into a business. Like, it wasn't even the realm of my thinking. I just wanted to get the discount, like a lot of us that joined as coaches, and little by little just start to snowball into something bigger and bigger and bigger. Like many of you guys on this call, I'm sure you can pinpoint at some point in your life, or many, times in your life, that you realize why you landed right here in coaching. Like, there was a need. There was some kind of need, some way in your life that you want to change, because to me, that's what Beachbody Coaching signifies. It gives you the ability, it gives you the option, the solution to so many problems when you need a change, whether it's physical, whether it's financial, whether it's with your relationships, whether it's with your self-esteem, whatever the case may be. I feel like Beachbody does that for so many people. And for me, when I first started, like I said, I was just a mom at the time of 2, trying to lose the weight, trying to feel better, and I saw Christina doing that. My second son, and her son DJ are just 2 months apart. And so, I come from organically what this business is all about, is looking at the next person and saying, you know what, if she can, I can. And so don't ever discount what this business is really about. I think we sometimes get all crazy and lost in cool graphics and trainings and, hosting like super cool team calls and webinars and live this, live that. But we forget that the essence of this business is always going to be that, leading from the front, showing somebody else what's possible. And again, that goes with fitness and business in both aspects of Beachbody Coaching. So Christina, introduced me to all of this, and I started off as a discount coach just for the discount. And like I said, it just started to snowball into something bigger and bigger. And in July of 2013, I retired myself as a paralegal, and I came to work my business at home. There's a couple reasons why I did that. For one, I always wanted to get into fitness in some way or another. I tried being a spin instructor. I tried being a personal trainer at one point. I really had a love for fitness because I grew up overweight as a kid, and I was always bullied and teased until about, I think, 13 years old, when I remember I was in 8th grade. And sorry, I'm gonna turn off my phone. I was in 8th grade, and you know how you get to pick electives, whether whatever electives you want to pick, and you needed to do some kind of physical education. And there was either a dance class or a weight training class in the gym. And I remember picking weight training just because I did not want to put those god-awful leotards on, because I didn't want to change in front of the girls, and I didn't want to be in that tight spandex. So I remember picking the weight training class in 8th grade, where you got to wear the baggy t-shirt and basketball shorts. And that's really when I was exposed for the first time to fitness, to weight training, and understanding that I had control of my body. What I wanted to look like, I could make happen. And so that was a profound time for me growing up. And I remember having my first job. I don't know if you guys remember Eckerd's. Here, I know in South Florida it was Eckerd's, which is now CVS, but my first job was in Eckerd's, working in the photo department. And my paychecks literally went towards being able to pay a gym membership. I didn't even have a car. I would take the bus to get to the gym because that's how much I loved fitness. That's how much I loved what it did for me and how it made me feel. And it kind of gave me like this independence and this empowerment. So that I've always carried with me. But I'll tell you that when I became a mom is that when I was challenged once again in my life when it came to self-esteem. Because now, you know, I was battling what I also have is like an ab separation and loose skin from having the kids. And so I started battling that. I felt ruined. Obviously, we know that if any of you guys are parents on this call, you know that your priorities change. Your time is allotted in now many other things that you have to do, and you're no longer the priority. And so, of course, I struggled with all of that becoming a parent. And, you know, these home workouts help me regain that control from home, you know, because I struggled being the mom that needs to be present versus the mom that needs to be there for herself and do something for herself to feel better. But it was what really triggered me to take this business seriously was when I had my third child, which is Mia. And when Mia was born, she was born with what's called a hemangioma. I don't know if anybody on this call knows what hemangioma is, but it's actually pretty prevalent in infants. It's a blood tumor. It's a benign tumor, but it's a blood tumor. And what happens is that it grows rapidly between the ages of 0 to 6 months. Mia had one. The most common ones are usually outside of the body, and they're located in places that don't really cause any kind of health concerns. They just don't look pretty. They grow and then they disappear. Like your body just attacks it and defeats it. Usually around the age of 1 to 2 years old is when it'll go away completely. Mia's, however, was internal versus external on the outside. It was right here in her eye. And I remember when she was about, I would say 6 weeks old, she would cry and I would see like her eye right up here swell up, you know. And I remember before having Mia saying to myself, oh, I'm going to blow this business out of the water. I'm going to use my pregnancy. You know, as I worked the business during the pregnancy, and I was like, okay, my postpartum journey is going to be like really going to catapult me forward, and I'm going to take this business very seriously. So I thought I had it all figured out. When she was born, and I realized something was really wrong. Every time she cried, and she would get like all this right here, black and blue. At first, you know, you're a mom of 3. I'm not running to the pediatrician all worried because I don't want to be like that psycho mom. And I kept thinking that maybe it was a clogged tear duct. But when I noticed like on day 2 that it was getting worse, something was really wrong, I took her to the pediatrician, and I'll never forget this. The pediatrician looked at her and said, listen, Mom, I think she's got what we call hemangioma. The only way to know is with an ultrasound, and the only person I can send you to is a specialist at Miami Children's Hospital. I'll never forget her name, Dr. Duarte. You need to go straight to Dr. Duarte right now and go check her out because this doesn't look good. I took Mia, 4 to 6 weeks old, to Miami Children's, and they did the ultrasound, and sure enough, she had this growing tumor right here by her eye that when we caught it, it was already actually pushing her eye out of the socket. It was intertwined in all of her muscles of her eye. Surgery was not an option because if we did surgery, I mean, it was almost for sure that they were going to nick a nerve and she was going to lose her vision and be blind in that eye. And guys, it's so crazy. Like it's so crazy to me because Mia's got the bluest of bluest eyes. I don't have blue eyes. Her dad doesn't have blue eyes. It goes like my mom does have blue eyes, and generations back in my husband's family, there's blue eyes. And then he's this precious baby girl with blue eyes. And I was like so excited that she got these blue eyes. She's the only grandchild. And she was on the verge of going blind on me and had this tumor growing. And needless to say, like my life just like flipped upside down at that moment. Especially so because there was no cure for it. And the way that this tumor grew was every time blood rushed. So an infant cried, the blood would feed the tumor and it would grow, and it was growing at a rapid rate. When I went to the specialist, she sat me down and said, listen, Mom, we've got no cure for this. But there is an experimental drug that's actually used for heart patients that we discovered a couple of years back with a child that had a heart condition that was taking a medicine called propranolol, which is a blood thinner. And we realized this child also had a hemangioma. And as we were giving him this medication for his heart defect, his hemangioma started to shrink. And so we're going to try this with your daughter, Mom. The problem is that your daughter's only a couple weeks old. So you need to bring her in once a week. We're going to give her this medication. We're going to hope that it's enough. We're going to give her enough for her size and hope that it's enough to attack the tumor.
Uh-oh. Did we lose you? Hold on.
Ooh,
Okay.
lost you guys.
What happened?
Was it me?
Yeah, you froze.
Oh, how weird. How weird. So what I was getting at is that we had to give her this medication once a week. Once a week, she had to be in the doctor's office, and we couldn't just give her the medication and go home. She had to be under observation for 2 hours post getting the medication because we're thinning out this baby's blood. If she gets hit, if she falls, if something happens, she internally bleeds like this. And so this is what I was faced with when my third child was born and soon after having her, and I was still on my maternity leave. Remember when I told you guys there's certain things that happen in your life that you could go back and say, you know what, that's why I landed where I am, and Beachbody, insert Beachbody, was my solution, was my answer. I started getting all kinds of, heartache from work once I returned from maternity leave. Mia's treatment lasted 6 months long, 6 months long of every week I lived in my children's. I was there, sitting there with a crying baby. Sometimes I would send my mom, my husband, my sister, some friends of mine would even go sometimes to these appointments and fill my shoes because I had to work. And I remember clearly, I'll never forget because it's what fired me up to do this business, to really decide that I was going to make this business mine, was when I realized, I felt my back was against the wall, that at any moment, one of these appointments that I could not make it to, my daughter could have the adverse reaction that day. My daughter could get hurt that day. That day could be the day that, the bad news came. And every appointment, it fueled me. Well, I'll tell you, we finished Mia's treatment in April of that year. And by July, I had given my resignation letter in and said, I'm doing this business all the way. I told myself once I got out of the weeds with that, I was never going to feel like that again. I was never going to be tied to my job where I had to pick between being a mom and being, bringing in money into my family and taking care of my family, because both are equally just important and necessary. And so that's what fueled me. And that's what really made me take this business as just a hobby, because for a very long time it was a hobby. I've been a coach 5 years, and it was 3 years ago that I actually started taking it seriously. And it was then where I decided I really needed to start treating it like a business. And I know you probably want to shoot me right now by saying, if you want this business to be a business, you got to treat it like a business, because it's the truth. It's the truth. And that's when I made certain tweaks in the way that I was running my business, social media being one of them, that I really started to see it exponentially grow. And so what Morgan and I talked about to share tonight was branding and social media, because like I mentioned early on, I've got my mom, my sister, my husband. I've got so many people in my life that were in my life before Beachbody now are in Beachbody. And so our warm market depleted early on. And I had to find ways to get out there and meet people, because this is network marketing, right? This is a business that is built on relationships. It's kind of like having your social media is like your storefront. And I kind of related to back in the day when there was no social media, if you were going to a network marketing event, right? Like you're going to a cocktail party to network, you did yourself no good by standing in a corner and not talking to anybody, right? You had to go out there and meet people. It's the same concept. Social media, you have to be opening up yourself and exposing yourself and getting out there and creating conversations for it to work for you to be able to network. And so I'm going to share with you guys tonight the different things that I've picked up along the way that have really helped me. And having these ideas, in my mind as I build my business on social media is what's allowed me to create a network as big as I have, a following as big as I have, and to hit those accolades that Morgan first mentioned when we got on the call, because they sound all great, right? But I'll tell you that it was a lot of behind the scenes work leading up to all those things and meeting new people, to the paths that have crossed with me to build the team that I have today. And if I could help you guys get there any faster than I did, then I'd be doing my job today. So let me screen share with you guys, because I did put together a really cool PowerPoint. I'm a PowerPoint queen. I love PowerPoints. And I named this Tell, Don't Sell. Now, before we get into what I'm going to talk about, I know a lot of you guys probably felt like me when you first became a Beachbody coach. Maybe one of your thoughts were, well, I don't want to be a salesperson. And I didn't want to ever feel like that, because I just don't feel like I'm good at being a salesperson. I'm usually the type of person like, you want it? Great. No? Okay, no problem. And walk away. Like, I just don't find myself sitting there trying to convince someone on why something works or doesn't work, or why they need it or why they don't need it. But at the same time, I want you to understand, because we sell products, it doesn't mean selling is a bad word or a bad thing. We have products that are our tools. They're the way that we help people. They're the way that we help ourselves. And there's no shame in building a business off these products. But what I want you to understand is that you're not in a retail business. You are in a network marketing business, a relationship-based business. When you can begin to look at Shakeology, 21 Day Fix, the Portion Fix system, even the Beachbody All Access that we have right now, all the Beachbody Performance line, like all the things that we sell, if you can look at those things as the tools needed to help change lives, it's going to change the way you run your social media. What I want you to instead decide to do is tell stories. Tell about yourself. Tell why people need this. Show them why they need this, because that's what's going to do the quote unquote selling for you. That is what's going to create the attraction to you, okay? Which I hope you by now have realized that the value in your business is you. It's not the products, okay? And we'll get to that in a second. But at the end of the day, we need to know what our goal is on social media and who it is we're attracting, because that's going to be the difference between selling and getting out there and creating relationships and connecting. All right. So what is our goal? Well, we have a couple of goals. Our goals on social media should be 3 things I've boiled it down to. Get people to stop scrolling and listen to what we have to say. 2, when we get their attention, to make a connection with them in some sort of way and add value to their life. And 3, attract the people that we're going to work well with, that get us, that think like us, that act like us, that are going to enjoy the same things as us, because that's what's going to create your tribe. And it's really important that you create that for yourself. It doesn't mean your whole entire team is going to be cookie cutter, or we know Diesel Nation has every walk of life on the team, but what you do attract are hustlers. What you do attract are people that don't look at life as being a victim, but look at life as an opportunity to grow and to elevate and to become something new, right? You have that entrepreneurial spirit when you join as a Beachbody coach. When you join Diesel Nation, you know that, you have support, you have family, you have a tribe. So that is what you want to get out there and attract, all right? And like I said, you are your brand. When you can get out there and understand that what you have to offer and who you are is all you need in this business, it's going to elevate so much pressure off your shoulders. It's going to make you realize you already have what it takes to build this business. I know some people come into Beachbody coaching and they think that they have to be some kind of nutritionist, some expert. They have to be in mega awesome shape. They have to be at their goal weight already. They have to be making money already to prove to others that this business works. And all of those things are just clouding your brain. All you need in this business is your testimony, your conviction, and your personality, who you are, and all those things you already have going for you. And that is your brand. Now, how many of you guys on this call kind of feel like, well, I'm not really interesting. Like, I'm boring. I'm boring. I don't have a story to tell. Like, I'm going to tell you, I felt the same exact way, because at first I'd come into this and I'm like, I'm just a mom and a wife and a paralegal, and I get up every day and I live this hamster wheel life. I come home and I cook and I do it all over again. Like, that's how I used to feel. But you know what? It takes digging into so many things in your life that you probably don't even realize are stories in themselves, that you probably don't even realize are golden nuggets about you that you're not even tapping into. And that's what I want to help you do tonight. In a little bit, we're going to do that together, all right? So, but what I want you to walk away with right now is understanding is that you are your brand, not Shakeology, not 21 Day Fix. And guess what? There's 480,000 coaches in our network. If you are leading with the products, you are competing against 480,000 other coaches in this network that are providing the same exact thing you're providing. But if you're leading with yourself, guess how many of you there are? Just you, all right? So let's talk about real quick, how do we do this, okay? Before we get into what it is we're sharing and who we're attracting, how is it that we do it? The book that changed my entire mind about social media, and it's the method I've been using for years now since I picked up the book. It's what's helped me and helped so many people on my team, is the book Jab, 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 Right Hook. Raise your hand if you've heard of it or if you've read it. No. All right, great. So I'm going to help a couple people out here. Jab, 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 Right Hook is a book written by Gary Vaynerchuk. He is like a social media mogul. I mean, the guy's brilliant. I listen to all his podcasts. If you don't know who he is, Gary V, you look him up. He's great, all right? He gives good content and good training day in and day out. But he came out with this book called Jab, 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 Right Hook because he wanted to help the entrepreneur on social media really build a business on social media the right way, the way that's evolving, the way that, we know today, most people, well, I would say, I'm going to go with all people, like live off of one of these, right? They have their cell phone. If you think about it, who picks up a newspaper anymore? No one. You get your news from your phone. When you're watching TV, do you even look at the commercials? Or do you, when the commercial comes on, either skip through it or pick up your phone and look at your phone until your show comes back on? Like, everybody is hooked on this. So that is exactly where people are getting their information. That's also the place where people are advertising, okay? So you want to be one of those people, but you want to do it correctly. You don't want to just go out there and be white noise, because if you're out there just trying to sell somebody on social media, which is a social network, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Twitter, all these are social networks. If you're just trying to go in there and sell to people, you're going to become white noise. People are going to tune you out, delete you, block you, want nothing to do with you, okay? But if you can understand how to give to get, then you're going to be gold when it comes to your business on social media. So he created Jab, 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 Right Hook, which is a boxing analogy for how you should run your business on social media. So let's go over it real quick. Sorry. Okay, but like I had said a minute ago, you have to give to get. So you give value to get trust. You give insight into who you are so that you create interest. You tell stories so that you can make connections with people, okay? So that's the purpose behind Jab, 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 Right Hook. So how do you do that? The jabs. Jabs are things like who you are, what you're like, who your family, who's in your family, what's your family like. You love fitness. You are funny, right? What do you find funny? What are the things that really, bring out your humor? What are your beliefs? What are your daily motivations? What are the things that speak to you? And as a Beachbody coach, what would fit into this category is like our Shakeology, our clean eating, who inspires us, all these kinds of things, the quotes that we put out to really speak to people to get them moving. All these things are jabs, okay? Now let's talk about what right hooks are. Right hooks are we go out there and straight shoot, invite to a challenge group, straight shoot, invite to, a mentorship program. I am looking for 5 women that I want to help, not just get in the best shape of their life, but create a business from home doing that. Is this you? If you're going out there and inviting to the next business opportunity call that we're doing on Diesel Nation, or if you're doing one of your own, the happy hours, the fitness expos, these are flat out invitations, okay? So the difference between a jab is all about you. A right hook is exactly what you want from them. Now, we talked about a minute ago, give to get. You must give all these things about you in order to get people to join you at this level, all right? Now, jab, 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 right hook. It's kind of the same rhythm. Give about yourself, maybe 3 to 4 posts a day about who you are. and you come in one for that right hook. Here's my invite. Here is what I'm doing. Now, what you're doing is when you're going out there and sharing all those things about you, you're creating connections. You're finding the people that are going to look at you and say, you know what, she's like me. And you want to create that atmosphere of, if she can, I can. Okay? So that means sharing all your good stuff, all your bad stuff. Having a bad day, great. Share about what you're going to do about it. Having a great day, great. Share about what made it better. You know, do these kinds of things that are going to create someone to say, you know what, if she can, I can. All right? And you're going to create a relationship with the back and forth with a lot of the, you know, oh, me too. Like today I put a really great quote about, you know, what mom life is like, you know, in the kitchen on Instagram, right? Oh, we baked muffins. Oh, it looks great. When the real behind the scene is like, you're putting eggshells in the batter. Jesus Christ, let me do it. Like, you know, the real stuff is what people are going to sit there and say, she gets me. She gets me. And they're going to connect to me, so that when I come to them and I say, and they make the connection that I am the fitness girl, they make the connection that I am that you know, clean eater that hates cooking but tries her best at home, they're going to connect to that. And when I invite them to my next challenge group, they're going to be more in tune with who I am. They're going to trust me. They're going to have enough insight about me to be interested in what I'm doing. Does that make sense, guys? Now, let's talk real quick about what I see commonly happen. There's two ways that this can go. There are people out there that throw a bunch of jabs all day long. Jab, 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 jab. Here's my Shakeology. Here's my meal. Here's my workout. Here is my, you know, oh, this is what I did today. Here are my kids. And they're out there and they're sharing and they're sharing and they're posting and they're jabbing and they're giving all this stuff about them, but they never come in for that right hook. They never come in with that call to action. And what that creates is someone looking at your page saying, that person has a really great hobby. They have a really great hobby. They, you know, good for her. She's lost 15 pounds. Look at her. Her kids are adorable, but they have no idea they have any place in what you're doing. That's where the right hook is imperative that it comes in. Now, let's talk about people that are out there just throwing hooks. They're not running their business at all with the intent of creating connections. They're not out there sharing about themselves. They're not getting vulnerable. What happens then? You become white noise. You become all of a sudden this salesy person that's just trying to hook someone without actually putting anything out there to make the connections. And again, people will scroll right past you. So jab, 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 right hook changed everything in my mindset, saying, what is it I'm going to share that's going to add value, that's going to tell people more about who I am, that when I in turn say, listen, I'm looking for you, I'm looking for this, and this person, is that you? They're going to trust me enough and trust my journey enough and want to hear what I have to say because I've created that for myself, and they're going to be more in tune with actually joining you and accepting your invitation, all right? So with that being said, everybody have a paper, pen in front of them? Yeah?
Yes.
Awesome. Let me stop sharing here. All right, paper, pen. I want to do a quick exercise with you guys, and I know we're running like a little bit past time, but I want to do something really quick with you guys, and this is actually really fun. I did it one time at a retreat, and it helped me so much. I did it with my team also, and it was so popular. Everybody loved it. I want to help you guys figure out your brand. Not just that, I want to see how well you are out there putting your brand, you know, and sticking to it and being consistent with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a list. I want you guys to make a list of all the things about you, okay? Anything about you that you'd say, someone would say, if they said, for example, superheroes, Wonder Woman, who am I talking about? It's Morgan. We know this, right? Red hair. We know who that is. So I want you to make a list. All of the good, all of the bad about yourself right now. I'm going to give you guys about 5 minutes to do it. I'm going to give you some of the ones that I've put on my list. Hot mess, 3 kids, loves pink, loves glitter, drinks a lot, loves cocktails, throws F-bombs. I love fitness, retired paralegal. I'm a tough love kind of person. I love lifting, beaches, bikinis, boating, coffee, girl power. I have no patience. I'm selfish sometimes. I'm not a morning person. I'm an extrovert. So all these things about myself that I remember having on my list back when I did this exercise. I want you guys to take 5 minutes right now and write down a list. All the good, all the bad, everything about yourself that you could think of right now. And then we're going to do something with that. So ready, set, and go. Just to kind of give you guys some ideas, like what are your hobbies outside of Beachbody? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? Your favorite food? What's your personality like? Do you curse? Do you have strong faith? What's your family like? Did you come from divorced parents? Did you come from a loving, long-lasting marriage? Do you have pets? You know, were you a geek in school? Were you a rebel in school? Did you get good grades, bad grades? What did you dream about when, being when you grew up? What's your heritage like? You know, do you hate veggies? Do you love veggies? Are you a vegan? Are you a junk food addict? Do you love lifting weights? Do you love yoga? Like what are keywords, different things about you that people would identify as you? All right, now as your list starts to accumulate, what I want you guys to do, does everybody know how to go in the chat section and private message versus show the whole group? Do you guys know how to do that? Okay, I want you to private message me 5 to 10 of your words. Privately to me only, not for the group to see. Because what we're going to do is I'm going to randomly pick someone. I'm going to read it out, and I want you guys, the rest of you, to see if you could help me determine who that person is. And we're going to know this by how well they're running their social media, right? What are the things that they're putting out there? Whether they are putting enough out there about themselves that you would recognize it's them. So take a couple minutes to send me privately some of your words. About 5 to 10 of them.
Monica, should I unmute everybody?
Yeah, sure. I'll give you guys 1 more minute. These are good. These are awesome. All right, so let's start. Let's have some fun. Let's play. I'm gonna read out some of these, and I want you guys, as a team, you tell me this is your team. You know your people.
Actually, there's 2 people on here on my team cup that I invited that some people might not know.
Oh, awesome. Well, good. We'll get to know each other. But it's social media based. If you guys know each other, even Morgan, if you know them, see how well they are out there identifying who they are and creating those connections and putting and being vulnerable on social media and really digging into their stories and all the things about them. So let's start off with, who is the strange socks lover that loves food cures, has a doggy, does a lot of nail art, and has anxiety a lot of the time?
Oh.
Who is it?
Marianne.
Marianne. There you go. That means Marianne is out there doing something right. All right. How about the Disney fan, New Yorker, loves baseball, is indecisive, and is a Miami Hurricane fan?
Teresa.
What? Good job, Teresa. You guys know what's up. Okay, how about the coffee lover, introvert, sailor mouth, no filter, oh, my kind of person, wine lover, boy mom, mom of a teen, migraine sufferer, loves to laugh loud, New Yorker, fitness lover?
Christine.
Christine, my kind of girl. There you go. And then this one's, you guys know your fearless leader. She's a cat lover, bartender, loves glitter, team no sleep, loves wine, bad temper, comic nerd, girly, loves makeup, and is a wife. Because I think Morgan does run her social media brilliantly, and her brand is clear as day. So do you guys see what I was trying to do here is pull out the things. You may think that you're boring. You may think that you have nothing to offer. For a long time, I felt the same way. But when I really sat down and started looking at the things that I like, what I've been through, who's around me, the kinds of things that we do day in and day out, you can really pinpoint great stories. I mean, I'd love to know, about Marianne's strange socks. I mean, that really, it interests me. And you never know, you might have somebody else that has the same kind of collection that likes to do those kinds of things too. So those are the things that I want to pinpoint to you guys and just really highlight tonight, is that there's nothing that you don't already have within you. It's about pulling those things in you out, which is going to create your brand, which is going to create your exclusivity, which is going to create a business that not only is going to attract the right people, but you're going to have fun with. That you're not going to be uptight. You're not going to be thinking you have to be some kind of person that you don't. And honestly, where I've gotten in my business today is because I've been able to do that. Alleviate the pressure of trying to be something I'm not and be everything that I am. So guys, I hope that was helpful. I hope that was fun for you guys. If you have any questions, I am here to answer them.
Anybody have any questions?
And Jab 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 Right Hook is an excellent book. So is Gary Vee. Follow him. I love to listen to all his podcasts. I think it's like these 10-second videos that always fire you up in the morning.
I love him.
Yeah.
I like the fact that he's like in your face and he curses a lot. Yeah.
Speaks to me.
Okay, I have a couple questions that I wrote down. Actually, I was on someone's team call yesterday and he asked me some questions. So I thought, those were good questions that I should probably ask you. When you've been in the business for a while, like me, I've had a lot of aha moments. What are a couple of your aha moments that you've had?
One of the biggest ones, which I kind of skipped it when I was at telling my story, is that when Mia got sick, we had already committed around January, right? January Super Saturdays when they announced Summit and you're able to buy your tickets and all that. And I committed to Summit not realizing what life was going to throw at me. And by the time June came around, because back then Summit was in June, we were pinching pennies. And I still committed to going to Summit. And sitting and listening that year, John Maxwell speak was a big aha moment for me. And it was when we came back from that, and I took my husband. That's another thing I want to tell you guys about is events. I not only go to every event, I've been to every Super Saturday since I've been a coach, almost 6 years now. I've been to every Super Saturday. I've been to every summit since I've become a coach. And I've been to, obviously now as I grow in the business, all the leaderships and all that. Those are things that are very important. And more so is bringing my spouse with me so that he understood exactly what I was doing. But anyway, that summit was the summit that I took my husband to. And on the plane ride back is when he looked at me and completely understood what I was doing and said, you were made for this. Like, quit your job. Let's do this. Let's go all in. So that was one of the biggest aha moments. And then obviously with what happened to me that I told you guys about, it was a big turning point when I realized this is my solution. And this is what's going to bridge all these things that I want in life. I didn't really realize I wanted so bad until I realized that I could get it with Beachbody. It bridged everything, and it really created that fire to make it happen.
Okay, anybody else have any questions for her? This is always the most awkward part.
Oh, me. You should see my team calls. They're so laid back. We're like, guys, got any questions? Want to throw anything at me?
I do. I actually have one. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. It's not so much social media, but it will cross on that. I think my biggest struggle right now is being an introvert is really crossing into that cold market. So I committed more, and I'm getting definitely a lot more traction, more so on Instagram than I am on Facebook. So that's where I've just been going with as far as the likes. I've had a couple of people reach out to me, which is more than I've ever had. And I know it's just with being consistent. But I know, like I shared with these guys, like a story, I was in Publix and I was buying some stuff and I don't know what I was wearing, and the woman behind me like asked me a question about, oh, did I work out? And I'm trying to pay, and your money's falling everywhere and whatever, and I'm like, and I stutter stumbled, and then I left. Oh, wait, what happened? Are you still there?
I hear you.
Oh, okay. And then I left, and I didn't know what to do because I knew I missed an opportunity. But I got so awkward with myself. So then I went and I stood like a stalker in the parking lot waiting for this woman to come out. And she must have went out the other way. And I finally went home. But I was really mad at myself because I let my shyness or just my awkwardness win. And I know that I'm not the only one that suffers with this. But how do you make that break? Do you just go for it and say F it all? I mean, is that what it is?
I consider myself an extrovert, right? I'm outgoing. I have no problem creating, starting conversations and whatnot. And I did the same exact thing you did in the beginning too. So I don't think it's an introvert extrovert. It's just a matter of getting used to being a coach and owning that role in your life. One of the things I do for myself, I carry in my wallet business cards. They're very simple. They're not stuffy business cards in the sense of it's not like, it doesn't look businessy. It actually looks fun. And I do it on purpose. And I want it to be fun and colorful and hip and all that, not just like a boring black and white card. And when that happens, I'm like, hey, I work out. I do it all from home. I'm a mom of 3. It's saved my life. Like, again, nothing out of this world, right? Very simple. If you're interested, I have groups all the time that I run with moms just like me, and I hand my business card. And that's what you want to create, that connection where they're going to somehow connect with you outside of Publix. So social media is a big deal there, because guess what's on my card? The 2 biggest things. It's just my phone number, my Instagram, my Facebook. That's it. That's all I need on my business card, because that's how they're going to connect with me. And once they tune into my Instagram, like I said, if you're running your business correctly on social media, it's going to do the selling for you. It's going to do all the talking for you, on a platform that you've created. So I think the biggest piece of advice that I can give you for that is get business cards and just always be ready. I can't tell you guys how many times I put out business cards, that I hand them over. And like I said, I make them fun. I make them fun so it doesn't feel like a business, like stuffy, but it feels like, hey, if you want to hang out kind of deal, this is what I do.
Okay.
But I hope you feel better knowing that I did the same thing.
All of us have, Chris. I don't think I think the first time
you're not, no one's immune. We all did it. We're like, and it's hard sometimes because when you start business building, when you start to really business build, obviously you realize there's so many facets to Beachbody, right? There's like so many ways to be a coach. So when you're already at that, you're at that top business building level where you're like, I want all of it. When you start to talk to somebody, it may be hard to like want to express everything that we do, but not knowing how. Start basic. Always revert back to you. How did you start? How did you start working with Morgan? What made you come around and say, you know what, or whoever you're sponsoring coaches and say, I want to try this. Like revert back to you when you started and what attracted you, and always ride with that, because that's all you have to do is attract the right person and let them organically grow into whatever it is they want out of Beachbody.
Perfect. Thank you.
I have a question.
Go for it.
Do you run your personal page or your like page, or do you do both?
Up till now, I've run solely a personal page, and I'm kind of with Christine, where I would say 80% today comes from Instagram. I don't do that well. Like I don't get that many prospects through Facebook. That's me, and I think that it's because my strength is in photos and videos. Like I like to do that kind of stuff. That comes easier for me. So when it comes to Facebook, I've never put all my energy into Facebook like page. I've also never run ads. I know that it's, a lot of people run ads and it's helped their business. But with that being said, it is on my to-do list to do this first half of the year. I want to start tackling that because I'm trying to, you always, you tackle one thing, go to the next. So my like page and my website are the two things that I am honing in right now personally. But up till now, that's what I've done.
You can also do with your like page, like what I did. I just went and got a GoDaddy.com thing and did fitness and glitter. And if someone goes to www.fitnessandglitter.com, it goes to the fan page.
Oh, love that.
So, if you have it on your business card and they go to that, they can still message you to there. Because honestly, I've had a fan page for my fitness thing for a few years and they don't get that much traction on it.
Yeah.
Because Facebook is really weird. They've changed things so many times.
The algorithms changed a lot on Facebook. That's why it's been a little bit harder because now, unless you're running ads, quite frankly, unless you're running ads on a like page, you're not going to get traction on your like page.
And even if you run ads, you don't always get traction unless you spend a lot of money. So like I said,
it's knowing how to target, because right now, if you're out there and you're targeting Beachbody coaching, you're targeting
everybody,
all you're doing is falling on the pages of Beachbody coaches.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is that they're not going to like your page because they know better, because they know that whatever they do is going to pop up on your end and they don't want that to happen. You know what I mean? So it's tricky, and there's a lot of free trainings on YouTube for all that kind of stuff. But if you're at the part of your business where you're just getting started, I wouldn't even worry about that. I wouldn't invest in that. Like, you are enough to start creating the foundation of your business. I've created the foundation of my business in 5 years that I've been a coach, and I've never touched Facebook ads or like page really. It's there, but I don't do anything with it.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, so because I'm a new coach. I just started. I made my Emerald status this month or January.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
We're clapping for you.
Thank you. And I had some good luck with, and I hate to say luck, but I'm trying to learn. I'm getting frustrated because I feel like I'm hitting walls. Like I don't know how to reach people and get out there. And so from what I'm hearing, I should probably spend more time on Instagram. Is that what you're suggesting?
Well, that's what I've done. Like I said, I know my strengths. I'm able to recognize that my strengths are, doing great photos, and I love to do workout videos, and I do, I just love visuals. I'm personally driven by visuals. So I do better on Instagram. It's not to say that one's better than the other, but that's personally me. So you have to kind of look at your strengths and say, do I love to blog? Am I, Facebook, people love to hear stories. They love to, for you to write something out and really tell a story. They also love for you to go live. I hate going live. I'm not a public speaker. It's not my forte, and I'm not comfortable with it, so I shy away from it. So it's all up to you, what you're good at. And you got to be able to take, as a business owner, stand back and say, okay, what can I leverage? What do I have that I can leverage?
Okay.
It like Monica was saying, it's really up to you. Like I have both Facebook and Instagram, and I post them both a lot because I am a very visual person, but I also I'm a performer. As long as I don't have to talk to people, normally I'm okay. But I personally have better luck with Facebook.
See?
Oh, you do? Okay. Because I'm doing both. I'll simultaneously post. So I'm doing both, but I don't know. It's almost like I need fresh people because the people I've been on for so long, I don't know what to do.
Hashtags on your Instagram, hashtags.
I do that.
Hashtag everything because people will look at your hashtags and might add you.
Okay. The other thing I didn't do is I had to go public, which I just did. I did public on my Facebook and Instagram, and I actually got a couple people today.
Oh, yeah. It's a must. Like I said, going back to that networking party, it's like going to the networking party and not talking to anyone. Standing in a corner or hiding in a closet. Like, you got to expose yourself. You got to get out there. That's like, step one. But step two, another thing that I think happens a lot, I don't think people realize how much behind the scenes following and adding of friends I do. Like, I am constantly out there also looking for women like me. I look up, like I said, I love to work on Instagram. So I'll go to things that I love, like home goods, anything that has to do with like meal prep. I'm into meal prepping and cooking now, or my favorite store is Target, or my local nail salon, like all the things that I love to do. And I go there and I'll literally go down the list of people that follow them. And if they look like someone that's in my niche market, I will add them as a friend, or I'll follow them. And I'll start to create relationships. That's how I built my following. Organically going out there and finding people on top of people randomly finding me as well. But you got to kind of be proactive in that too, because you can't just sit back and think that you're going to put out all this content and then like it's going to open floodgates. You got to be proactive there and making friendships too. Facebook, same thing. I'll go to friends of friends of friends of friends. And I'll be like, okay, look, if she's holding a newborn in her profile picture and you see she's married, and you could kind of gather a lot from people by just their profile picture and their cover page and be like, you know what? She's someone that I may connect with.
Okay.
And then what happens like on Facebook, if you work on Facebook, if they see your request, they're going to be like, Morgan LaRue, I have no idea who this person is, but let me see. And they'll click. And then when they start seeing what Morgan does, hey, she's pretty interesting. Oh, okay, yeah, let me add her. And they'll add her. If they don't like her, then they won't add her. And no big deal, no harm, no foul. But that's the way I've created an organic following, and that's how I target my cold market, because I am also out there looking for people, for women. I'm not gonna lie, I look for women that are like me. I just had breakfast the other day with a girl that I followed for like a year and a half. And not begged her, but I was always behind her. Hey, you want to join my team?
Yeah.
Doing a fitness challenge. Oh my God, your kids are so cute, and oh, your story's so much like mine, because she would post stuff and I relate so much to her. I knew that if we joined forces, we'd be. The girl's almost a diamond, and she started working in the business like 4 months ago, and it's going great. So if I would not have gone out there and sought her, that relationship would not have begun to blossom.
Okay, so I'm going to add stalker to my list of things that I need to be.
AKA be a stalker. No, but think about it. You walk around with your head held high. You have something of value. All of you guys have something of value. Are you pissed off with your sponsor that brought you into this business or introduced you to your first program? Like, is anybody pissed off? Is anybody pissed off or angry for trying Shakeology and what it's done for them? Like, no. We all love what we do. You wouldn't be on this call if you didn't love it, if you weren't as passionate about it as I am and as Morgan is. And, there's a reason we're all here together wanting this and wanting to spread the love, spread. So hold your head high and know that you have something of value. You may feel stalkerish, but you know that if you get the right person at the right time and you help them, you can change their life the way that it's starting to change yours. So carry that with you.
Yeah.
Carry that conviction. Like I said, the value is already in you. You got it already. Now get off my soapbox on that one.
Anybody else have any other questions? No? Going once, going twice? You feel like
I hope this was helpful, guys.
This was. Thank you so much, Monica, for being on the call. I'm so happy. I actually am I forgot to record like the first beginning part when I introduced it.
I do it all the time.
So I actually started recording when you started talking, but I'll give you the link and everything. And if those of you are actually video like things, let's take a picture. So everybody smile.
Oh, you have to Photoshop me in.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. Got it.
I've still done that for some of my coaches. I'll get their profile picture and like plug it in.
Photoshop them in.
It was great meeting you all. Get out there, be confident, and lead with conviction. Everything everything you need, you've already got in you. Trust and believe that.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
ladies. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.